Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. For today's video, we're going to be covering assignment 5 and 6, adding and subtracting polynomials. On the last video, we did cover adding polynomials, but for today, assignment 5 and 6 are going to have a mixture of both. The only difference is when it comes down to subtracting, there's a special rule you have to follow. So whenever we get there, we're going to cover it. So let's begin with example problem number 1. It's going to be in adding polynomials, which you guys should knock out the park pretty quick. So, always remember, working from left to right, which one has the higher exponent? That's going to be 4 to the power of 4. So let's write it out. We have negative 4k to the power of 4 plus negative 3k to the power of 4. So in this case, we're going to add two negatives. So let's add them. 4 plus 3 is 7 since they're both negative. So it's going to be negative 7k to the power of 4. We're put a little check mark on top that we're to use those, and now we go to the power of 2. We have 2 of them, so we're going to write 3k squared plus, it's a negative, so negative 14k squared. So 3 plus negative 14. Negative 14 technically is the bigger number, but it is a negative. So negative 14 plus 3, in other words, you owe me $14. You give me 3, you still owe me 11. Since you owe, it's a negative, so 11k squared. Done with this, done with that. All we have left are just my regular numbers. We have 14 plus, once again, negative 8. Now the difference from this one to that is just the fact that the number that's bigger is positive. So 14 minus 8 is just 6. Then we combine all our answer, which will be negative 7k to the power of 4. It's a negative, so minus 11k squared. 6 is positive, so plus 6. Problem 1 is complete. All right, let's go ahead and move to example problem number 2, which will be a subtracting. This is the one where the new rule comes in place. So, example problem 2. So, let's say we have the following problem. I'm kind of extend this to the bottom so I have some space. I'm going to have 12a to the power of 5 minus 6a minus 10a to the power of 3 minus 10a minus 2a to the power of 5 minus 14a to the power of 4. So there we go. We put everything in order. Let's start combining like terms, right? Let's begin with the highest exponent. In that case, we have to the power of 5. Remember, always work from left to right. So we're going to have 12a to the power of 5 minus, here's the biggest mistake that everyone makes. Remember, we're subtracting. So that subtraction comes from right here. The one that we're noticing is this right here, negative 2a to the power of 5. So, parentheses, negative 2a to the power of 5, closed. And this is where your skills come in. 2 negatives give you a positive. So 12 plus 2, that's 14. So 14a to the power of 5. This is complete. This is complete. So this is the new rule. Now, the next biggest exponent we have is a to the power of 4. And you notice on the left side, we don't have it. Always do this to help you out. I'm placed a placeholder, which is going to be 0, a to the 4th minus, go on the right side. Notice, once again, it's a negative. So I'm going to write parentheses, negative 14a to the power of 4. Now, from here two negatives give you a positive. 0 plus 14, well, it's a positive, so 14a to the power of 4. Now, this is a check mark. Next highest exponent is going to be 10a to the power of 3. Now, this is where the rule comes back, but this time it starts on the left. So let's write it out. Negative 10a to the third minus, do you have one on the right? No, you don't. So I'm going to just write 0a to the third. This is the big difference that you're going to notice. Notice, negative 10 minus 0 is still negative 10. So this is going to be negative 10a to the third. No change, nothing major to it. So this checks out, and that's it for that part. Now all we have left are the ones that just have a pure variable, which are going to be on the left side, negative 6a minus 10a. So from there, negative 6 minus 10 is just like saying you're subtracting a negative. So add them, keep the negative sign. So negative 6 minus 10 is negative 16a. This checks out, this checks out. And then my final answer is going to be, combine everything together in order, is going to be 14a to the power of 5. It's positive, so plus 14a to the power of 4. It's negative, so minus 10a to the power of 3. It's negative, minus 16a. Example problem number 2 is complete. Now let's go ahead and move on to example problem number 3. So example problem 3. And today we're only doing 4 examples, guys, so don't worry. So on example 3, here we go, let me extend it. We have negative 9v squared minus 8u, close it, plus negative 2uv minus 2u squared plus v squared plus negative v squared plus 4v plus 4uv. So remember, we're working from left to right. Always begin with the highest exponent. From viewing all this, my highest exponent is squared. But remember, we're only going to add the ones that are the same. We're working from left to right. So we're looking only that has a v squared. Does not have a v squared. It does have a v, but not squared. But remember, it has a u, so that immediately stops as a no. That's a u. Here's a v squared. Here's a negative v squared. So let's begin. Negative 9v squared plus v squared plus negative v squared. So left to right, negative 9v squared plus v squared. In other words, negative 9 plus 1 is, I'm going to combine these, this will be negative 8v squared, and then I'm going to drop this, so plus negative v squared, and of course, you're adding two negatives, so it's going to be negative 9v squared. So this, I'm going to just cross it out because it is a big problem. That's gone. This is gone. This is gone. Now, let's go off to the next biggest exponent. And if we notice, that should be our u squares. Do I have a u squared? That's a regular right here. And there's only one. But remember, you're working from left to right. But it is an addition, so there's no sign changing. So this one immediately drops down to negative 2u squared. And of course, you want to add the zeros, you can, but it still doesn't change the problem. This immediately goes to my answer, which is negative 2u squared. Negative 2u squared, I believe. That is correct. Now, let's go to the next part that gets rid of this. Let me put my u a little bit better. And now, notice, we go to our two variable equations. There's only two of them. There's nothing on the left side. So let's combine them. We're going to have negative 2u v plus 4u v. So if we combine them, negative 2 plus 4 is just like saying 4 minus 2, which will be 2u v. That completes this. That completes this. All you have left is negative 8u. So I'm going to write negative 8u. Immediately goes towards my answer, which will equal negative 8u. We combine all of this together, and my final answer is going to be negative 9v squared minus 2u squared. It's positive, so plus 2uv minus 8u. If anything, guys, pardon me, sometimes my u look like v's or vice versa, but hopefully there's no problems with this. And the final example. Let's do the same problem, different numbers of course, but it's going to be a subtracting problem. So let me go ahead and erase, and we'll continue. So example problem number 4. Let me go ahead and flip my notes. So here we go. Example 4 is going to have the following: 4x squared plus 7x to the power 3 y squared minus negative 6x squared minus 7x to the power 3 y squared minus 4 minus 10x plus 9x squared. Let me make this 9 a little bit better. There we go. Close the parentheses. So remember, left to right. And this is a subtracting one. This is where many mistakes happen, but always remember, left to right. So let's begin. So highest exponent. Now your question is going to be, Mr., how do I begin? There's some that have two variables in each problem, some don't. If you feel that's the best way to approach it, let's begin with that. So notice on the left side, 7x to the 3 y squared. You have two of them, so let's work it out. Remember, left to right. So 7x to the power 3 y squared minus, and if you notice, this is a negative. So parentheses, negative 7x to the power 3 y squared. Close it. You have nothing on the right. You can write the same thing, but there's no difference. As long as you have numbers or leading coefficients in the beginning, it doesn't affect the whole problem. So let's solve it. So remember, two negatives right here give you a positive. So 7 plus 7 is 14. So 14x to the power 3 y squared. And we're complete with this, complete with this. Now let's jump into the highest exponents. And we have a total of 3 of them to the x squared. So let's get them together. We have 4x squared minus, right here, negative 6x squared, close it, minus, there's another one right here, 9x squared. So let's combine. Two negatives give you a positive, so 4 plus 6, That's 10x squared. Then I drop the minus 9x squared. 10 minus 9 is 1. So you can write it as 1x squared or x squared. Either way, same difference. So this goes away, and this goes away. So this is the important one. Exponents. We only have one that has a base and has an exponent of 1. But notice it's on the far right. So we got to go all the way to the beginning. So I'm going to write out 0x minus, notice there's not another one here, so I'm going to write 0x minus 10x. Right? So from here, let's put them together, right? So let's go ahead and begin. This is just going to be, it's just going to be 0 minus 0, that's 0. 0 minus 10, well, still the same thing, negative 10x. That gets rid of this. And all you have left is that minus 4. So let's write it out. This one is going to be straightforward. It's just going to be 0 minus negative 4 minus, let's just say 0, because there's nothing there, right? So 0 minus negative 4, two negatives give you a positive, so it turns into 4. Then 4 minus 0, well, still 4. So this will be 4. So from there, let's combine all of this together, and we have our final answer. So let me go ahead and begin. This is going to be 14x to the power 3, y to the power 2, check. Next one, we have x, but it's positive, so plus x squared, check. Then my x's, which is a negative, so minus 10x, check, and all I have left is that 4, and that 4 is positive, so plus 4. Final answer. So hopefully you guys took good notes. Always know to reach back, give us a message us on Microsoft Teams on the hub, and that will complete today's lesson. Hope you guys have a good rest of the day. Thank you.